Hello, my name is Brett Moran and I'm backstage at the APCTC 2014 Annual Awards, and I'm backstage with Sukhi Wahiwala, who is a complete change maker in the community of the APCTC, in his local community. Sukhi, thank you very much for your time. How are you finding the awards and the APCTC?
Firstly, thank you very much for such a lovely introduction. I think it's very important to understand the real pros and cons of actually facing off in an industry where it's faced off with change. Change makers, community change makers, therapists. I think overall, just before anything else, I think I need to applaud the fact that the APCTC has done something tremendous. Dan Bradbury and Chris Black and the whole team. The whole team. This year has been a complete success on previous years. It's the third time. I'm a previous award winner in 2011. I was a runner-up in 2012 as well, and this time around I was a nominee as well. So just been honoured to be in that space. But the reality is that there is just not many people in this industry who are actually giving enough to try and create an organisation which doesn't necessarily make money. It's actually an organisation which actually sits there and tries to create change in the community and value those change makers. Actually, people who are trying to influence other people's worlds for the better. Does that make sense? Sharing partaking their knowledge, sharing their experiences, but articulately, not just sitting there and having a little natter at the pub. These are really healed individuals. Now, for that, I sincerely think that APCTC needs to be awarded in every aspect.
Brilliant. No, thank you very much. It's very lovely to hear. And what do you do in the community? What is it that you're sort of going around doing? We do know your story, but just for the guys that don't know you, the guys that have not come to the awards, or they don't even know anything about the APCTC, if they're just sitting at home, they're watching it on YouTube, and they've got these two guys talking, what have you been doing? I know your story, so just give us a quick snippet of what you just mentioned.
Okay. I tend not to talk a lot about myself unless I'm in a conversation.
You're on the spotlight now.
Yeah, like now. So, okay, my background is I'm a seventh generation entrepreneur. So we have, from the backgrounds of India, Punjab, in specific, all the way through to UK since the late 30s through till current day. I think I didn't actually realize how my world was kind of different to many other people. So, for example, what woke me up was when I realized that actually everybody wasn't really going to be good at business. Does that make sense? It's not a natural thing to have for some people. For me, I was just blessed to have been in that situation where I was nurtured, surrounded with nothing but business. I just kind of knew it inside out. Whether it's property, whether it's through to retailing, through to manufacturing, etc. My background comes with God's blessings, and I mean primarily with God's blessings. I've worked in 20 different sectors. I've never worked for anybody. I run my own group of companies with over 11 companies. So to this day, from a very young age, I was humbled to be very successful financially at a very young age, with great mentoring and coaching from my parents, both my mother and my father. And above all, I think everyone cuts their own destiny, but there has to be a bit of go-get. In my family, we've got a very strong understanding that if I can just use the word God, let's just replace that with universe if you want to choose at any time. But man is only helped if he helps himself. So if we require any assistance in gaining wealth, relationships, family, anything that's really important to us today, we have to go out and get it ourselves. So we have to try our hardest. So God helps he who helps himself. That's the reality of my world. So what I do nowadays is, since 2006, I had a near-death experience which changed my world. I had hepatitis, which took me 2 hours away from not being here. Most people have a tragedy in their life and actually come back and think that why did it happen to me, and why couldn't it have happened to somebody else, etc. That's never been my understanding. So for me, it was sincerely about, okay, so if it's happened, why was it not my time? Why is it now my time still to live? Does that make sense? So what do I now need to do differently? So I was blessed with a lot of knowledge, wealth, and understanding, a strategic understanding at a very young age. And I just realized at the age of 30 that maybe it was my turn to give back. So then I went into a new chapter in my world. And that chapter in my world has been probably the most fulfilling, And so for people who don't understand this industry of change makers, for example, the therapists, the business consultants, the Association of APCTC, then my suggestion is that just give it a go. Come and just hang out with people who are actually helping others. The gratification, the sheer sincerity, the humility, I think will be unparalleled. It's just eye-opening. So I was really inspired by this. Because my father's been a constant change maker of his life. He's helped everybody. We always just have these arguments saying, well, not arguments really, debates saying, why do you always constantly, get walked over and helping people financially or unfinancially? You've forgotten in 3 days' time. They never really talk to you about it. And he said, son, one day you'll understand. Yeah. And so, 2006 was my understand year. That was the year that I was a year and a half away from my organization group of companies. I lost a good few million. It didn't really affect my whole overall strategy of structure and business, but we change when something actually happens in our world, that something significant, a significant change in you could say a significant experience. Okay, so for me, I came back thinking, if I've learned something specific, what can I do now to make it easier for others? So then I started articulating with God's blessings and a lot of beautiful surrounded individuals who expanded my awareness, how to articulate my story and my learnings. So I took it out of my unconscious self to try and put it into articulation. So to this day, what I do now is I assist businesses to break through the glass ceilings if that's what they want to achieve. But on a commercial level, I can pretty much work with organizations from a small level right up through to the multi-million pounds, because that's the status that I'm in currently myself with blessings. But I really thoroughly enjoy the one-to-ones.
The coaching, like the one-to-one coaching.
Yes, the exact coaching one-to-one. So I stand here today being a mentor within the environment, and I think there's a clarity. I'm sure if I've got a bit of chance to share with you the difference between a coach and a mentor. I think specific is it's very very profound. I think a coach is a consultant, somebody who can show you the way, get you to find progressions and strategies that can help you, keep you in a positive attitude and mindset. Mentors don't actually have to be any of those. They tend probably not to have those experiences, skills, but then they also turn around people's worlds by saving them time, giving them cost cuttings, giving them not shortcuts, but giving them tried and tested routines.
Lessons that they've already been through, or mistakes that they've made, maybe.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. So in context, that's what I go out my way to be, and I think it's lucky in this world to be blessed with great mentors before me. So that's what I try to bring to the market. So
you're paying it forward. You've been mentored yourself, and also you've got the wealth. You're somebody that's, again, like a lot of people that I've interviewed, you're literally walking the walk. You're sort of like, you're practicing what you're teaching other people, and now you're into that contribution and giving back. And like you said, there's nothing like giving back, is there? You can't put, it's like a currency on passion and compassion. So
I think the final point with gratification is very, very important. It's a part of charity, seva, which is the Sikh way of saying charity. It's very high and very important. So today I spend a lot of my time working with organizations who are maybe struggling. I do it pro bono as well. I assist people in their charitable trusts, and I've helped with a lot of United Nations charitable trusts as well. But I've actually been humbled to have been asked by the APCTC to possibly even be a judge next APCTC. So it's been within myself. It's been an absolute honour. That's.
Thank you.
I think it's a brilliant job that the guys are doing.
Thank you so much. Great interview.
Thank you.